about a quick live one.
Hello and welcome to the Penno Channel for this match.
Oh my God, we're worse than
what Villa, is going on here? We're having a stinker, bro. We're playing like Villa, bro. Like
it's all getting to us, isn't it?
What is going on here? It's all mad here. Technology's gone all mad, just like the performance against Chelsea today. Well, yeah, we're here for the match reaction to Chelsea 3, Aston Villa 0 in the Premier League. A game which I thought might happen. The way we've been playing, the form we've been in. Chelsea have been much better this season. And it kind of felt like if we didn't book our ideas up, this was the kind of game we should expect. And that's what happened, man. I'm joining my bro to go through this one. Yeah, bro. You know what? Like, as I said, I could see it coming, man. And it's just, it felt Gerrard-esque today. It was capitulations at times, man. Yeah, not a good day at the office for Aston Villa.
Let's just go into some comments quickly. Duncan says, evening all, dreadful, poor team selection. Steve says, yes, boys, need your wise words to cheer us up. Well,
Steve, I don't know how wise they're going to be today. We'll try and give you some joke, but I don't know how wise the words are going to be.
Ryan says, someone give me a good reason why Duran isn't starting. I beg you. Yeah, we're going to try our best to analyse what's going on with Villa at the moment right now. It's all a bit mad, really. But, yeah, we'll get into it, bro. We'll discuss our thoughts on the game, on our run of form. And if we do see light at the end of the tunnel, because we need some good results and good...
We need justice.
Right we need justice.
We need justice, man.
Duncan says, Brentford and Infinite bogey team will beat us 4-0 easy. Jesus. When your league form is like this, the see-out enjoyment goes out the window.
I like heads are gone. Heads are gone everywhere. I've seen it on all socials. I've seen it everywhere. Heads are gone right now.
This is the true Villa that I've grown up with, man. Like this sounds so familiar again. Like
I was saying, bro, I haven't caught like joking that since the Fulham game 3-0, the last game under Gerrard. Like today was just one of those you just write it off, man.
Bro, I've been saying to people when I wanted us to be like Man City, this ain't what I meant. You gotta be careful what you wish for, man, because it can come true and you can be disappointed.
Oh, facts, man. Facts. The game today was a madness. But yeah, we'll get into it. We talked about it, bro. We talked about potentially trying and finding some form. I think a draw would have been a great result today going into it just because of where our position. I saw some people saying it's a must-win. No. Not the way we've been playing. It was never that. We just wanted to see something from the side, something to give hope in. And we'll go into the lineups, bro. What's your thoughts on what you saw? Obviously, Jadon came into the side, a return for Ezri Konsa. There's more of a recognised back four. Probably the back four, a lot of people would have said is our best back four. You saw Tielemans and Kamara being in the middle of the pitch. And you also McGinn, Rodgers and Watkins. So Jadon and Konsa coming into it. What were your thoughts on seeing that?
I'll be honest, bro. I was really surprised. And I say that because Bailey's arguably come off his best 2 games. And I thought there'd be a want to continue that momentum from the off and let him build on that performance. On the flip side, I think Emery was looking for Philogene defensively. He had that good showing against Bayern Munich where he was disciplined, stayed within the structure and helped us defend. So maybe that's the angle that he was going for to stop Sancho and Cucurella on that side with Enzo pushing up as well. Konsa for Carlos made complete sense. The back four was fine. Obviously, you know me, I always want Maatsen to start, but I wasn't that mad with Dean because I thought he's going to be scared of Madueke, who ended up not starting, which was a massive surprise for Chelsea. And then Chelsea's team news was surprising, bro. They used Caicedo as a right back to invert into midfield, push Lavia and Enzo on with Sancho and Neto holding width either side when normally it's Madueke and one of Neto and Sancho. So surprise from Chelsea's selection a bit, but
I'm gonna say, yeah, I was just gonna say, but I think
just to get this last point in, sorry, but I was actually hoping to play Gusto at right back because when he inverts, he's not as good in that 10 role, and I was really gutted to see it because I thought Kamara would have got the better of him and we would have been able to break on him.
Yeah, I was just going to say, bro, I thought that was clever from Maresca because he knows how narrow we play. So playing an extra centre midfielder, as they like to invert the right back anyway, Caicedo's just acting as another centre mid, and they'll play with that three at the back. So I thought that was really clever because you know how narrow we play. We were playing with Philogene, who has not shown any glimpses of going forward in any shape or form, because we used more in his defensive actions, which was the plan. McGinn on the other side, and then Digne, who's not blessed with pace to get on and bomb across, and then Matty Cash as well. So I thought that was really clever because it's obvious we were going to try and play through the middle, and playing Caicedo just meant they had an extra body within the middle of the pitch. And with the three, it all meant that Ollie Watkins was going to get opportunities if he was going to run out to those flanks, which we'll get onto because he did have opportunities. They were literally offering him so much space, and yeah, we didn't capitalise on that.
Yeah, so bro, the game started off, and obviously Sky Sports are having their difficulties, so I was having to listen to Micah Richards and Dan Stokes, so I just muted that straight away. And I was watching the game, and I ain't trying to have Micah Richards tell me about Aston Villa, bro.
Yeah, I ain't hearing nothing on his opinions. Yeah, facts.
I actually thought we started okay, bro. Like we were moving the ball well. We had the ball more than them, which I wasn't expecting. And we were playing it felt like we were really playing some nice stuff at the start.
Yeah,
I was happy to see Kamara starting as well. It felt like we had that security at the start. Yeah, we were moving the ball. But it didn't last as long as I would have liked. But I thought our start was promising.
Yeah. We harp back onto it again, and I've said it again, like last season. There was so many games where we took the lead early, and yeah, we were the ones who was getting the early goal. This season, it's been the opposite. Teams have been scoring early goals on us, and it's been a mountain to climb ever since. That's 2 games again in the Premier League since international break where a side has scored first, and it's been within the first 10 minutes of the game. And it happened again today. The ball comes in. I think it's Pal that ends up heading it clear. And bro, Philogene, nonchalant touch, chill guy. Just this guy, I don't know what it is, man. He's just not settled at all, has he? And the touch is so poor. It gives Cucurella the opportunity to jump on him. I don't think it's a foul either. I think he wins the ball fair and square. And yeah, Nicholas Jackson somehow manages to find space when there's about 3 defenders around him in Cash, Konza and Torres, and it's a lovely finish. And we just find ourselves 1-0 down again in a game where we need to set the standard and we need to set the lead, because when we've taken the lead against Chelsea, we've gone on to win, we've gone on to hold out. But again today, bro, it's just the same old story of this season so far.
Yeah, and I think Philogene plays with a lot of nerves on the pitch. Like, I know he said chill guy there, but I do think he's quite nervous, even though he doesn't give off that impression. Just like with his touch and stuff. And I think he's really quick to put his head down as well. And yeah, this is just cost us here, man, because we win the ball from the high ball. And if that drops to him, we could have broke away with them having numbers out, but the touch lets him down. However, though, once that touch has happened and Cucurella's down, when that ball goes out wide, we have players in the box. Like,
it's poor defending.
We have to defend better, bro. And we've been saying like individual errors from the back have been our downfall, but this is one where the individual error was further forward and we had guys in the box to deal with the problem. And you've just let Jackson get in between. I'd have to look back in it. I'm not sure which defenders allow him the space. I don't know if you remember.
It's Konza and Powell around him.
It's Konza and Powell, yeah.
And Powell, yeah. The both centre backs are right there, yeah. And he just nips in. It kind of goes in between them and then in off the post.
And yes, we find ourselves 1-0 down with 7 minutes gone. And we know Aston Villa this season, especially away from home, when we go a goal down, it completely impacts
it's game over.
Our style of play, because we depend on the opposition to be baited into our build-up play. And it's just, under Emery,
comments from Marescas after the game. Yeah, go on. I was just going to say, in terms of what you just said there, Brian, about we try and bait them into, we don't press at all. Maresca's comments after the game, he stated, Villa are top defense. I don't know what he means by that. I don't know if he's trying to play on that, but he meant as in. He says they don't press, and what I think he meant by that is we try and set traps. We don't press in that sense. Like, we never press the players; they have to try and work us out. I think that's what he meant, and perfectly summed up there. If that doesn't work, we're in big trouble. And if we can't hold out for the first 10 minutes of the game, the whole game plan goes to pot, because if the whole game plan is to set traps and bring them onto us, don't make it so easy, man. Don't make it so easy. And we're having a difficult problem now. We ain't setting no traps. Teams are just carving through us and creating chances. And to just score with the first chance just like that. And there's so many players in the box as well. And not as many Chelsea players in that area. I think there was 3. I think it was Jackson, Palmer, and then Cucurella crossed it. There's not many Chelsea players, and just to find the space and finish it. It's a great finish anyway, but yeah, it's shocking defending.
Well, we spoke about it on the last podcast against Crystal Palace, where Villa, in their off-the-ball shape, they look to use their body as cover shadows to block off the pass behind, and they look to... it's not pressing. We will press, we will run high, but we don't actively look to win the ball high. We're just there to like stay in the shape and force an error that way from a misplaced pass. But we're not like Arsenal, where we're trying to win the ball high, or even Chelsea themselves, bro.
Or Liverpool today. You saw what they were on today.
I think this is something that probably needs to change, because not only do you put pressure on the opposition, you also have the chance to win the ball back high and create chances that way. Because our open play chance creation this season, bro, it's not good. It's really not good. And there's a lot of talk about our defense, but we simply don't create enough. And that's now getting reflected in the results, where we haven't scored in 4 of our last 5 games. That's not coincidence. That's it's reflected in our underlying stats. So I'd love to see us be more aggressive in our press and actively try to tackle higher up the pitch.
Do you think Emery's concerned that if we're aggressive in our press, he doesn't rate the players in terms of in their 1v1 actions, and that he thinks we'll just get absolutely cooked that way?
But at the moment, it just feels like lose-lose, because you push the team high. We majority player mid-block against Palace, and then today we did drop a bit deeper, but after we were quite high. It's like you're staying high and you don't press them to win the ball back, so you're relying on them to either make the wrong pass, or they can just go long and try and get in behind, and then you're relying off the offside. But as you've said, we don't do that as much this season compared to last. So I just think at this point you might as well try to win the ball high. Like Watkins can tackle. Watkins can put pressure on people from the front. I think Rodgers can tackle as well. I don't know, bro. Like, it just seems. I'll tell you, the one time that we actively did win the ball back from trying to tackle was the Watkins chance against Arsenal this season, where where they lose the ball and then Rodgers goes on to it. Yeah, I'd love to see more of that. Yeah, I'd love to see more of that, bro.
Yeah, so we go 1-0 down, bro, and heads are down, man. And yeah, we have a massive opportunity. They have a few shots in between this, but it's a huge opportunity again. 15 minutes in, long ball's played up top, and Watkins does well. He puts real pressure on Wesley Fofana, gets a nick of the ball. And bro, it's one of those, which we've had so many of this season. It's a big chance that swings the game and the game state. And he just hits it straight at Sanchez. It's a massive opportunity. It changes the whole complex of the game if Watkins buries that. Maybe you say he could square it, but I think 1v1 striker there, you just have to score that chance, man. It's huge. And again, like Watkins, he's been a great player for us, but these times now you see it and you're like, okay, Duran's on the bench now. Does this mean Duran has to start games now? How long can this go on for? He scored a great goal last week, Watkins, but then again, he missed some good chances as well. It's this Danny Ings, Ollie Watkins situation again, isn't it, bro? It's mad. You come full circle. It's the same thing again. Pressure's being put on him now. And when you have a player who's more than capable of scoring goals on the bench, that player, to me, deserves an opportunity.
Yeah, I think I slightly disagree, bro, and I'll tell you why. I think firstly, I loved how we were targeting Fofana at the back, because he's by far their weakest defender, I think, on the ball, and in how you can get on him and you can pressurize him and you can outmuscle him. So I knew we were going to get him behind with Watkins on Fofana. But I don't think Ollie's scoring rate is any different to what we've seen since he's been at Villa, even in his best form. Like, he's matching his underlying. I think he's got 6 from 6 XG. What I want to see better there, bro, is just the decision making. Like, I really think if he stands and he passes, we have a better chance to score. And I just think it's been a bit of a theme of Watkins this season where he's had better plays, he's had players in better positions to pass, and he's not passing. And it's a bit selfish because I think our other players always look to pass to him. Like, he doesn't even look up, bro. He doesn't even look up. That's my issue. He's not looking up to even see Rodgers there or to even see Philogene there to slide in.
So is that totally different to Watkins last season then? Because we saw he was the playmaker of the year. He got the most assists. Albeit he overperformed his XA. Why this season is he not playing? We said something against Palace, bro, when he should have squared it. There's been another game where he should have squared it for Duran. Why is he being so single-minded in his decision-making now then? Is it pressure? Is it the pressure? He thinks he has to keep scoring because he might lose his players? Because that's how it comes across.
I don't actually know, but I don't know the reason. But the reason I bring it up is because it feels like a theme this season now. Like, if it was a one-off today, like, people will say it's your striker, you should be shooting. But I also think strikers should be able to show good decision-making in the moment. Like, top strikers, look at Salah today. Salah gets the ball on that side and he can come in and shoot, or he can look to find back post for an easy tap-in. Like, I think whilst you want your striker always shooting, there needs to be
Salah missed a sitter today, though, as well. Salah missed a sitter today.
That don't matter. Big strikers miss chances. That's the thing. I don't mind. If Watkins was on his own there and he missed a chance, it's whatever, innit? He's missed a chance. Strikers miss chances. But I think when you have an option to play to a player in a better position to increase the chances of scoring, I think you need to use it and you need to look up. So that's my issue, bro. I've never had a problem with players missing chances, but when there's an opportunity to increase your chance of scoring by passing, I think it's a bit selfish to not pass.
So do you think that's an opportunity you should pass 100%?
Oh, 100%.
And then again, does he deserve to start then if his decision making is not correct?
I don't know if it's about
in these multiple scenarios.
I don't know if it's about.
Or does Duran deserve an opportunity? Okay. Does Duran deserve an opportunity to start?
It's more for me. I don't think there's been a fairness in the opportunities given to Duran and Watkins based on the output and what Duran has done once he started. It seems unfair to me.
Especially considering Duran. I agree.
So I don't think it's a case of deserving. I just want to see more rotation.
But then he deserves it. And if you want to see more rotation, Duran deserves more minutes and starting.
Well, even them starting together.
I think that's okay.
Even them starting together. I just think Duran probably does deserve to start more games than he has.
Yeah, so big chance goes amiss. We move on for the rest of the half, bro, and then the comedy show really started. The confidence from the side just decreased. Emery Martinez doing a madness, passing it straight to Jackson. Matty Cash trying to play a pass back, and the ball going out of play. Conza just leaving it going for a corner. And when we had one transition and the options you were looking at, it just didn't fill you with any excitement. It was like McGinn and Digne trying to break through on a fast break, and it was like, it's too slow, man. It's not going to work. Like, it just felt so off.
I'm glad you brought this up because that was the coldest piece of football I've seen from that left-hand side with McGinn and Digne since they've both been at Villa for me. That was incredible football. I was just like, why can't you do this more often? But then we saw, as good as it is for Digne showing that bit of quality, we saw by the time he got to the box, their players had caught up with him. And any speedy wing-back get into that box way quicker and cutting it back for a bigger chance. But Dean, like bless him, innit? Like, he's not gifted with pace, like he's getting on a bit, innit? So by the time he got to the box, Chelsea had almost recovered the shape, and it almost kind of wiped out the beautiful football they'd just played before.
Yeah.
But yeah, even from that, I think Tielemans got the ball. There was a case of him being fouled or not, but yeah, that was a massive.
There's a point where I saw Enzo Fernandez catch up with Yuri Tielemans on the ball, and I was like, what is going on here today? They were just not at it at all in all aspects of play. I think up front, midfield, even at the back, heads had just gone on that pitch, and the decision making, again, we stress, when we were good last season, it was because we were making good decisions all over the pitch. When we scored those good goals last season, it's because the correct passes were being made at the right time. This season, it's just not clicking, and the decisions, people are making the wrong decisions, the wrong passes. And yeah, we could have now Emery Martinez playing a pass straight to Jackson that could have led to Emery Martinez now being out for a significant amount of time. Who knows? Who knows what his injury is? I think
Yeah,
it's
well,
something to do with his wrist. He had to go off. It's just.
I'm just wary. I'm just hoping it's not like something serious, like a broken hand or something, and then we will be in trouble. So hopefully he's all right and he can play.
Facts, of course we would, and he's back to Olsen again. Do you want to go through a few of the comments?
Yeah. So let's start off with Duncan says Villa are easy to set up against. Just press high and hit the right defense down the flank. Standing on the word, thanks for joining us. Says Ali isn't a natural striker. He's a winger. Why not try him on the wing and let Duran play striker? He also said Jaden brings nothing to the game. Cash was also poor. Credo, thanks for joining us. Says evening, boys. Hi all. Also, as well, if you are new here, we do appreciate it. If you can subscribe to the channel, it will help us out a lot as well. And like the video, please, as well. That would be great. Duncan says championship players will deliver championship results. I think that's about Philogene. Standing on word says for Palmer's goal, Powell and the three players going don't close him down and didn't run to him to show any desire. And he also says 100% we never press with intent. Yeah, that's what I agree with as well. Sharik, thanks for joining us, says Philogene is the worst player in his respective position as a winger, more than any other player in their position, along with Olsen as goalkeeper. I don't think Olsen even did that bad today, to be fair. He played one pass. That was actually quite impressive.
Olsen has good games against Chelsea. Against Chelsea, he turns up. he turned up at home. He made that save against Cole Palmer. Yeah, it's mad.
Duncan says Luiz Diaby and Bailey last season had 25 goals. Who do you think with the current wingers will deliver that? It's a good point. It's a good point, man. Dennis, thanks for joining us, says we have the least fouls on every team we play. Sorry, but this shows a lack of commitment. That's a good point, bro. Do we foul enough when players go on transition? Do we make them quick fouls to stop an attack?
Because I think we would have conceded less goals on transition if we did. I think. I don't know whether that's physicality though and pace. We might be, because as a team we're not the quickest. If you look across the players we have, Pau Torres, Luca Digne, Matty Cash, Yuri Tillemans, John McGinn, we're not the quickest. Even Morgan Rogers isn't that quick, really. He's just got a good shot. He's powerful, he's not quick. So I think sometimes in transitions, teams are just quicker than us, so we can't even catch them. Or if we don't make the opportunity in the foul at the correct point, further up the pitch, by that point, they're too quick and they've gone past us. That is a very fair point, yeah, for sure.
Bailey should have started today. So many errors, loose play. Our high line has totally gone. Needs fixing ASAP. Duncan says Duran's not a natural he's a natural finisher, deserves a run. Shivan says, hello, mate. I'm a Spurs fan. You don't deserve to play in the Champions League. Hope you guys get relegated. Listen, you'd think they'd beat Fulham today. The way I was coming with the emojis, bro.
Shameless.
Well, Villa, even Villa can beat Fulham, bro. Like, come on, bro.
1 point ahead. That's shameless, that is.
Ryan says, as soon as Duran came on and tried a shot from outside the box, he got that urgency that everyone else seems to lack. Yeah, that's a good point as well. Creeder saying, are you bored, mate, coming to a Villa? Bro, I thought
let them come, Creeder.
These guys are bored, bro.
Let them come.
Can't beat a 10-man. They had 10 men. I didn't even know that, bro. You're shameless, man. You're shameless.
Kearney bagged and got sent off. Old Tom Kearney. Villa
Tom
hero.
Kearney. Well, he was in the end, didn't it?
Yeah.
Genuinely was. So, yeah, bro. So we find ourselves, 1-0 down. We've had the breaks on transition, but we ain't made the most of it. And then Pau Torres and Martinez decided to start passing to each other.
Oh, bro. It's just... It felt like it was coming. And again, it wasn't through Chelsea's good work. It was more through our unforced errors. I think the best thing that Chelsea did do, though, is their press again. They pressed us into areas that we didn't want to be with. But again, we tried to play out of it, and at times we played out of it well, but continuously over the period, we just started to struggle with our passing. And when your passing's not good enough, you're going to get punished, man, against a side with that quality of attackers. There's only so many times you can make mistakes. And yeah, it's a lovely bit of play from Chelsea for their second. It's a 1-2 basically with Enzo Fernandez and Cole Palmer, and the first touch sends Cash spinning in his own spot. Man, he turns and he turned the wrong side because the touch has just sent it the other way, and then it's a great finish from Fernandez. And when Fernandez bags it, you can just see the disappointment on all the Villa players. You know, arms are in the air, they're all looking at each other, just like, what is going on here? Like this is nothing new. This has been going on for a while now, and yeah, I think it's just setting in the team at the moment, and we need something massive to change it because it's just not good enough. But I must say that the play from Chelsea was really good. The interchange, they had players running in different directions, which was making it tough to pick up. And yeah, Enzo's first touch is so good that puts him in a position where he can just hit it on the volley. And when you see Matty Cash, he gets dumbfounded by the touch because he spins in the wrong direction and gets nowhere near Enzo.
Yeah, and that initial goal comes from their centre-back Colwell playing that direct pass into Jackson, which is ironically what Aston Villa and Emery love to do using Pau Torres and Watkins. And they make the goal from that. The defending's poor, though. To get beat centrally, bro, like that's the one place where we try and compact and block the space. Like it's more so out wide where teams will get past us. So to concede centrally is poor. It's a good finish from Enzo Fernandez. So he seems to save his goals for Martinez, bro. Like I don't see this guy score unless it's against relegation sides or Villa. Like what's going on? It's mad.
He must have words in the international breaks, and I'm going to bag against you. Or Martinez must give him big ones in training, man, and save all his shots. And it's like, yeah, you wait, because obviously the free kick last year, and then yeah, he's bagged another one today. Again, if a player's trying to play their way back into a side, because Enzo Fernandez he played against Leicester, but you know it was all about Caicedo and Lavia playing in that middle two, and yeah, just for him to pick a bit more form, he goes and bags against Villa. So
I thought
2-0 Chelsea.
I thought he was their best player though last week.
He was quality today.
Not even last week. I thought he was man of the match last week. He seems to be getting into form now, but. Yeah, bro. Do you want to talk about before the goal though that indirect free kick? Like I haven't seen one of these conceded in years, so obviously it had to be Aston Villa to concede. Did you think it was a pass or was it just a bad touch?
I think it's a pass. I think slyly Powell knows it's a pass as well. Like he's tried to claim it as a touch, but he's kind of put it in the direction for Martinez to come and claim it. But again, I was just like, in Villa games, you see some things that you've never seen in football or you haven't seen for a long, long time in it. Obviously, the Mings handball is going to stick out forever because I've never seen that before. And when's the last time you've seen a direct free kick in the 6-yard box? Or a direct free kick in the box anyway? I haven't seen one of them in a long time. We actually did well to stop it from going in. There's two massive blocks within that.
But I didn't think we'd actually concede, to be fair. It didn't feel like we conceded from that. I just thought it was hilarious that we conceded.
It's tough though, and it like you can just hit it in the roof. It's Cole Palmer as well. He could just roof that, and you'd have no complaints because, yeah, it's just poor decision making once again, bro. Like we tried to pass off a Schneider one, and we've got caught red-handed, and you can't complain about it because it is a pass back.
Yeah, so Villa went on into the first half. We had another chance. It was actually good play from Philogene this time. He finds Watkins, and Watkins' shot just kind of like p-rolls straight at Sanchez. Like that's another opportunity where you're like, come on, Watkins, man, come on, you gotta put it in the corner or something.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I think it needed that to just go in, just to build a bit of momentum or something early in the second half, and. Yeah, it was a comfortable save for Sanchez. And that's one thing that annoyed me as well, is like we just didn't test Sanchez enough. And Sanchez isn't the best. He isn't the best at all. And I've seen some. Go on.
A lot of their fans want Jorgensen to come in for Sanchez.
Yeah. And you've seen games this season where if you put it on Sanchez, he flaps at stuff. You can really get at him. And we just didn't do enough, man.
Did the commentator say something like it was his first clean sheet in over a year at home or something? I'm pretty sure I heard that in the second half from Alan.
Bro, like, I'm not surprised. And yeah, 2 shots on target in the first half, both from Watkins' chances, and that was it.
Ryan says, sure, Ronaldo scored a direct free kick against Brad Friedel. that's the one that came to mind when it happened. We conceded to United.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. Yeah,
That was like 2000,
the 3-2.
Yeah.
The Marcada game. Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Standing on the word says never a back pass. The ball was trapped, then the goalie came for it. But it's schoolboy errors. Yeah, I think I agree, man. It's a schoolboy, isn't it? Lack of concentration, lack of confidence. So yeah, but we're going to half time, 2-0 down. Martinez goes off with injury. I think he was playing injured for most of that first half after it happened. Olsen comes on. Were you expecting more changes at half time, considering that the performance wasn't great from Villa and we were getting hurt a little bit?
Was I expecting them? No, I didn't think Unai would. Should he have? Potentially, yes. And yeah, I think he should have. But was it to say I was expecting them? I wasn't, to be honest. Because it felt like, if you looked on the stats basically for that game, and in the first half especially, the chances. You there, bro?
Yeah, I'm listening.
The chances in terms of shots and big chances and stuff was fairly even in that sense. Obviously, we were just making stupid errors and playing into their hands. But I didn't expect him to change it, because I still thought he'd probably think there were still moments where we could get back into this game. And I think Unai now, he's shown that he trusts a lot of these players who are playing these games, and he's going to continue with them. Watkins, Rodgers, McGinn, Digne, Powell even, for instance. I think he gives them a bit more time within that, and I thought, yeah, he wasn't going to change it, to be honest, but it wasn't too far after that he did. But I didn't think at half time he was going to do it. But I would have been happy if he had changed it and maybe brought on Duran earlier, especially. I think Duran should have just come on straight at half time.
Yep, Duran was probably the one I was looking for as well. Bailey as well. I thought Philogene, I thought would have happened.
Even Maatsen, bro. Even Maatsen. I thought Maatsen just come on for transition. This is the thing. Like, Caicedo was playing as right back, so he was tucking inside. So if we're going to get an overload, he'd be out wide. So why not just bring Maatsen on and then use that to our advantage?
Yeah, obviously we love Unai as Villa fans, and we appreciate it. But I do think there is this stubbornness.
Yeah, it's the best thing that's ever happened. Of course, it is.
But I just think it's okay to be critical, and it's okay to say things. And I do think there is a stubbornness to the substitution sometimes, where I think we could benefit from different type of players coming on. I don't know, earlier to try and salvage the game, but. Yeah, I was surprised with, as you said, with Caicedo leaving that space as well on transition. Like we saw first half, Dean broke away twice. Now you imagine if someone's faster, getting to the box a lot quicker, what could happen from that? Obviously, that's offset with the defensive side as well. But yeah, what's happening with Maatsen? It's strange, isn't it? When you consider the fee, I know that was PSI involved as well, but I don't think he started one league game. And to be fair, he was a bit of a stinker of a performance, but. Even with that, I thought I would have seen more game time this season.
Yeah, so would I. But I don't know, bro. It's just, I don't know. Maybe he's not got the full trust. Well, I think obviously he hasn't got the full trust, and I think he thinks Digne's been playing to a high level, so he's trusted Digne with the starting left back position.
Standing on the word says, also, why bring on Buendia with minutes to go? It's an insult to him. I feel sorry for Buendia. He's a creative passer, but not had enough minutes this season. Brian says, I thought we was going to make halftime changes. Was sure of it, to be honest. Then all we got was Olsen. Duncan says, 8 games, no win. Brentford will beat us on Wednesday. If we lose or even draw to Southampton, Emery is under pressure, then inform Forest away. I think most fans would agree we need minimum 4 points next 2 games, 6 points. Realistically, like we have to start winning games. And 2 home games, like you have to win both these games for me. But even 4 points has got to be the bare minimum, innit? Would you agree with that?
Facts, 100%.
Standing on the word says Mings is a better defender, but not as good on the ball as Powell. So in games when we need solid defense, then why not pair Mings and Konza again? What do you think about
that? What are your thoughts on that, bro?
I mean, Mings kind of like with the ridiculousness of his situation, I think he's completely lost Emery's trust a bit, especially after the comments Emery made at full time where he said it's the worst mistake he's ever seen in his life. Like, he could have protected him at that point, but he chose not to. He chose to go the other way. I think Emery kind of just said, yeah, he's had enough. Then Emery does love Pau Torres. Emery plays Pau Torres 90 minutes. So I think Mings kind of sabotaged himself with just the way it happened with that one, really. And I think he kind of just lost Emery's trust.
He hasn't had any minutes since, has he?
He hasn't had a single minute since, yeah.
No, so, yeah.
Shivan, the Spurs fan, says, what's tougher life of a Spurs fan? Listen, I don't know. It's equal, man. Equilibrium.
Nah, definitely Spurs, man. Definitely.
There's no winner. There's no winner, bro. Like, Villa, bro. Spurs have had their moments, yeah, but Spurs got a League Cup in 2000 and whenever, innit? Like, we had Bradford in the semi-final.
We got a playoff final victory. That's what I'm saying. Got to see us lift silverware at Wembley.
That is genuinely a good question. What's tougher life of a Spurs fan?
I think they're both as tough, if I'm honest. But yeah, I only say Spurs, yeah, because their expectations has been a lot higher over the past few years, and they've failed to do anything with it. So that's the only reason why I'd say that.
I don't know, but like compared to our relegations and getting relegated, I think that's just as for what we were used to.
True.
It's a good question though, bro. I'll be fair. Shivan says also Bailey is an absolute baller. Duncan says change to a 4-3-4-3 or 3-4-1-2 formation and play Mings Konza Power at the back three. Remove the RB role by default. Pack the midfield. The thing is, we do play we play a 3-2-5 in possession where the left back pushes on and our right back is removed anyway because he drops into right centre back normally. And I know we've seen variations of it this season where we'll play a back four and a 2 and then a 4, but mostly we are a free possession team when we have the ball. So I don't even like you start with a 3-4-2 from the start, but Emery likes to play a 4-4-2 off the ball because it's the most compact you can be, and it's what every top team plays off the ball nowadays. Like Chelsea, ironically, play very similar to Unai Emery, where they're a 3-5 in possession, they're a 4-4-2 off the ball. They let Colwell do most of the build-up, just like we use Power. And they have Madueke normally on the right-hand side holding width on the touchline, just like we use Bailey. So it's quite similar to how they play.
Do you think Emery, having watched Marescas today, could potentially do Kamara as a right-back like they did with Caicedo and have that as an idea for some games?
Maybe.
I think that was quite inventive from Maresca. I thought that was quite inventive, just to use the additional midfielder because he knew he was going to invert into that position.
Last season, especially when Kamara was in really good form, he was being used as a right centre back. Like we've seen him dropping deep before. Like it's not even a new thing. Like Emery used him as a right centre back against Palace at home, and we'd have Luiz and he was either Tillemans or McGinn centrally, and then we'd have our right back in Cash bombing forward. We'd have the left winger in Moreno or Dean, and then you'd have Diaby and McGinn behind Watkins. So we've seen it used before, bro. So it wouldn't surprise me if
instead of playing, I was just going to say instead of playing a right back though, in terms of like Chelsea did today, they didn't play no recognised right back. So could we use it in a sense just so we have more attacking players on the pitch? Where we drop Kamara at right back and then
Isn't that why they wanted to sign McKennie? Emery planned to use McKennie as a right back, didn't he? Originally.
Yeah, he did.
I think that's why the deal broke through, wasn't it? Because McKennie he didn't want to play right back. So yeah, we could see that if we get Anana. Anana needs to get back fit. Yeah, bro. Tillemans as well today. Like it seems even Tillemans is just like starting to regress a little bit from what we saw at the start of the season. Like that's hurting us as well. Like I remember one point he was carrying the ball and he just allowed their players to take it off him, and then suddenly we were vulnerable to their counter attack. So even Tillemans kind of gone off it a bit, bro.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, second half, we carried on. We didn't really have that much threat. Emery makes 3 substitutions at the 66th minute. Bailey, Duran, Barkley come on for Kamara, Rogers, and Philogene. And yeah, I was thinking, okay, it's 2-0. Maybe they might show something. Yeah, but it just didn't really happen. I remember Duran had a shot from far out. He had another chance where he got in behind. Ross Barkley, yeah, as well. Duran had that other chance as well where he got in behind and Sanchez saved. Barkley had the header. Was that from the corner?
Yeah.
So we had some chances.
There's a few chances. But yeah, it just wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough. And like the tail of the game was, when it got to the last 10 minutes, you didn't feel like Villa were going to get one in it, let alone two. And it just thought that the game would peter out. But Chelsea ended up getting a third. But yeah, it changed it a little bit. We tried to get into some better areas. We've got McGinn had a header as well that went over. But we weren't really threatening. And you brought this point up before, bro, about, with the way we set up and the shape we set up in. If we are behind, it is tough for us to get back into games. We've done it against lesser sides this season, obviously Wolves and Everton. But it is tough, and I think that's the biggest thing for me in terms of last season. We were ahead in so many games that it set us up perfectly in our shape that we could control the game from that point, because that's what our shape's made for. It's made for them to sit off, set the traps, and then pick them off on transition. This season, we've not had the opportunity to do that because we found ourselves behind in so many games. And Emery must just tear his hair out of that we can't even find our feet in matches because we're 1-0 down in the first 10, 15 minutes. It's not good enough.
And just to touch on that third goal, how we could do with that type of quality in our squad right now, just what a goal.
It's different level. Just
ridiculous, but it's just different level, isn't it? Like, it's just different. I do think Villa should have closed down. Duran kind of loses Palmer. He just lets Palmer run past him. No one closing down. Madueke just finds Palmer. But even still, he's got a lot to do, bro. Like, it's a sick finish and game, set, and match, bro. Like,
I see they could have bagged a fourth at the end as well. João Felix nearly scores.
This is the most surprised I've been. I was actually that tempted, bro, to just in play put Felix next goal scorer, bro. Like, I thought it was that obvious. I was just like, if I have to suffer, let me get some money.
It usually is, isn't it? It usually is.
I thought Felix is going to come on here, and with the whole narrative about what happened in summer, of course he's going to score. So when he had that chance, he missed the chance, and then he kind of had the header after, didn't he? That went over. So that's the most surprising thing about today. The most un-Villa thing is that Felix didn't bag when he come on. But yeah, bro, Villa dropped down to 12th place, 19 points. This time last season, we had 28 points after 13 games. So we had 3 more wins. What's ironic about this season is it was actually our best ever start to a Premier League campaign. And it just doesn't feel like that anymore. Like, the drop-off has been crazy.
Nah. It does. I think there was comments about, the scheduling and the fixtures at that point as well, which look fair now in terms of we had a lot of our less difficult fixtures at the start of the season. So, if anything, we were able to put ourselves in that position, and it was still disappointing because the drop points against Ipswich. You'd think at the time, Man United, the situation
Bournemouth as well.
And then dropping points to Bournemouth at home, which the Bournemouth one that can happen, and I think the United one sticks out more in terms of the performance was terrible, and that was a big opportunity to beat Man United, and we didn't. Even Ipswich, like the way we played, I thought Bournemouth was a good performance, and that can happen, like conceding that goal. But since that Evan Nielsen goal, it's gone to shit, man. It has.
And what's interesting is, like, the easy thing for players to do, or not players, sorry, fans and pundits that aren't Villa fans to do, is say the Champions League's affecting him. But you listen to McGinn's interview at full time, and he's saying last season the scheduling and the tiredness after games was way harder.
It was worse.
He said Thursday, Sunday is way harder to deal with Premier League games. He said it's no excuse. Like the Wednesday to Sunday, Tuesday to Saturday, that's fine to deal with. That's normal. So, and if you look at the Juve game, like it wasn't as intense as
and it was Wednesday.
Game. And it was Wednesday, so
Wednesday night.
We had a rest on Chelsea, who travelled away. He went to Germany. So yeah, no excuses with the Champions League thing for me, bro. Not for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Just to go into some comments, bro. Duncan says Felix was written to score against us. Facts. Like, I'm still surprised right now, to be honest. He also says Villa's form is worrying, needs a change ASAP. Standing on the word says, I think Rodgers was new at the start of the season, but now teams have wised up to him. Yep, teams are starting to condense the midfield, press him as soon as he gets his touch, and you can see it affecting him. And I don't think it's just him. I think it's like a wider point that can be made as well on the system and how reliant we were on Rodgers at the beginning of the season. And if teams now know they can almost limit his capability, you're almost wiping off a big chunk of our threat.
Yeah. We are, bro, and it's part and part because it can be expected of Rodgers to have a dip in form. Obviously, he's young, man, and he's new to the club. And when that happens, we have to have alternative ways of playing, and we don't really have that at the moment, do we? If Rodgers isn't on it, we're not on it, and Rodgers has not been on it for the last few weeks, and it's shown in our displays as well. So yeah, we need more from the players around him as well. We need, McGinn is playing further forward. McGinn needs to start producing goals and assists. His numbers need to start going up.
Come on, he's got to chip in, man.
Yeah, he's got to start chipping in. Bailey, Badace, they've got to start chipping in if they're playing further forward. I mean, Yuri's numbers. Go on, what are you saying?
No, I was
just saying we can't just leave it all on Rodgers. Those other players who are playing higher, they need to start producing. They have to start producing further forward, and their numbers are just not showing that at all this season.
Bro, Bailey hasn't scored yet. He started 8 games, he hasn't scored a goal in the league. And what's even worse is his underlying 0.49 expected goals in 12 games. That's
shocking.
That's what defenders at like Ipswich and Forest are putting up more than that. Like, why
McGinn hasn't scored this season either.
Has he not?
No, 1 assist this season.
I really do think, whilst everyone focuses on the defence, which is fair enough, I think we have a real issue of creating chances in open play. I think the set pieces are fine. We create chances off that, but open play, I don't think it's a case of Villa not being clinical. I think it's the volume of chances and the quality of chances we create is not enough compared to the top 4 or 5 teams in the league, bro.
And I think we've had that for a long time. I think that's part of Unai's style. What it relies upon though is the defence as well. It does rely upon that, and I think some games, we were getting unlucky with the goals we were conceding because they weren't team based. It was either an individual error or it was a strike from miles out, which is fair. But the defensive numbers again they've dropped because we're just being open. We're just playing so poorly in our shape as well. Because I just think our chance creation numbers under Unai have never been right up there like that. And again, it's variance, isn't it? I think some of the variance that went in our favour last season is just going against us. And we haven't how variance can change it.
Yeah, to be fair, I was about to say we haven't had a penalty yet, but we have, haven't we? We missed it.
We have, and we missed it, bro. So
I can't even use that one as one. We actually did get a penalty. Kevin says, abandon the high line without the ball. It makes it harder to create. Distance far too long. Why Emery's changed it. I don't know. That's something
a few weeks ago.
Duncan says, we call Moreno and Ilin Jr. minimum in Jan. Give us pace on the wing. Kevin says, teams are allowed time and space as we're defending too deep. So yeah, bro. That's pretty much it for the game and for the pod today. Another Villa loss, but let's just hope we got 2 games now. We got 2 games at home now to really try and put this right, and I do hope the atmosphere is good in the upcoming games, and we do try and get behind the team, and I hope the players give us something to get behind as well, which is just as important. So,
and 2 wins change the whole complex. You've seen how tight this league is. 2 wins change the whole complex. I think 2 wins you'll be top 6 pretty much.
Well, Arsenal in second are on 25, and 2 wins puts us on 25 points.
You got Chelsea got Spurs, Arsenal got United, and teams are still playing each other. So obviously,
this is another thing that people have brought on just before we end the pod. Other teams are going to improve this season compared to last season. I think last season Villa were opportunists, and we did the great thing in taking that opportunity and getting top 4 when other teams were weaker. And I'm so proud of us for doing that. But I just think this season, Chelsea, Maresca's a top quality coach. Like, he's really good and he's principled. And with the squad they have, I just think
they
have the squad depth. Like, when you bring in Felix and Kunku off the bench, like, what?
and this is why, bro, Unai's comments and his comments have been throughout his whole time here. He's been like, okay, we're 8. There's 8 better clubs in it. He's always stressed that, and he's always pointed it. And sometimes I used to think, come on, just big us up a bit. But then I think it shows now it's not, you're never too up and you're never too down in it. Because it's gone the extreme the other way now. It's like I've seen a few Unai outs and stuff like that. When his comments after this game were exactly the same as the comments he made a year ago.
Yeah, one comment. Come on, boy. Sorry.
No, I was just saying in terms of his position in the Villa and where we are. He said teams have got stronger as well, which he's not lying about. That's fair enough. But there's still a right to question him. You can still question him. Obviously, he's the greatest manager I've seen at Aston Villa, but you can still, question some of his tactics and maybe some of the things he's doing. But in terms of the extremes and stuff like that, no. You keep level, and his comments have been in line with that in terms of what he was saying last year and this year, and how good some sides are because of the financial backing they have or the experience they have.
I
did the same thing.
I think one of his comments were interesting, though, where he said last season teams weren't expecting us to be a threat, but this season they're expecting us to be a top 7 side. So what's he indicating? That teams are showing us respect now, and we're finding it much harder to break them down. Did we benefit last season of teams underrating Emery? And as that
I think he's right. I think that's fair.
Yeah, but is that not worrying? Is that not worrying? That worries me. That kind of comment.
Yeah.
If he's essentially saying teams now prepare for us, that would indicate to me, okay, you need to find a new solution. But if you're playing the same thing,
I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you.
That's my worry now. Like, if he'd said that, but he was trying to change things, like with new personnel, new ways to break a team down, I'd think, okay, at least he's checked. But if we're doing the same and you're saying teams have kind of respected us more, then that makes me think, okay.
What I was going to say is, I think again, more in line with the teams lower in the division, and now they're not going to come at us. They're going to sit back in their shape instead of potentially last season they'd probably play more open. But you're right, you're bang on. Like, okay, if that is the case, then what's the solution to that? And there has to be one, which is fair. You have every right to be concerned regarding that, but. Again, were we as concerned at this point when we were, had the best running, when we were playing those teams lower down by us, and we were had the best start to a Villa season ever? Was it as concerning?
Well, yeah.
I don't know. I'm asking you a question. Was it?
Yeah, I'm being honest. Yeah, for me, because I didn't think the performances were as good. I didn't think the performance was good, and we were conceding first a lot, which wasn't happening last season. Like, you think Wolves, you think Everton. Even though that was a bit luck based, there was that thing where we were kind of conceding first a little bit more, but Ipswich as well. I think I said that. But
again, did you think us conceding those games though was tactical, or was it?
No, it was more. I had worries about our creation issues in games like Ipswich and other games, and United game especially, where we didn't create anything that game. I thought, last season we would have definitely created more chances against United there. But as well, like you said, it was also individual errors as well. But yeah, it's mad. It's actually really, really interesting to see what the solution is going to be. Starting with Brentford, who, to be fair, they're all their points mainly at home. Like, they're really, really good at home. I don't think they've lost a game.
They haven't won a game away this season. So what a time to play, man! What a time! Now they kind of found the shape and system with Kevin Chardin, and we're still playing up front. It's going to be a tough game, man. It's going to. This league is tough. It's tough, but
it's unbelievable.
I think you have to be looking at 6 points in the next two. You have to turn the tide and Brentford and Southampton in your next two at home is the perfect opportunity to do that.
Yeah, bro. We'll wrap that up. Thanks for everyone for joining. Your comments, as always, appreciated. If you can like the video, if you haven't already, if you're new to us as well, new to the channel, if you could give us a subscribe, we'd appreciate that as well. And yeah, we're gonna have a Brentford match preview on what, Tuesday or Wednesday, probably. Sorry, Tuesday night, probably.
Or maybe tomorrow. Might do on tomorrow.
Or maybe tomorrow. Yeah. Give it 2 days, and then we'll have. When's the game against Southampton? Is that Saturday?
It is Saturday, 3 o'clock.
Yeah, we'll have the Friday preview for that as well. Hopefully, discussing 2 wins, bro.
That's it, man. That's it. Just keep the faith, man. Just keep the faith. It's tough times. This is Unai's worst period as a manager. This is Pep Guardiola's worst period as a manager. That's 2 managers you don't expect to see in these tough times, man. So
when's Unai gonna put up the fingers to show how many Europa Leagues he's won?
Bro, what's happening if neither of us win until just December the 21st? That's the
and then you get the stinkiest 0-0 draw ever, like.
And facts. I think I take that against City, even the position they're in, the way we're playing. Well, yeah, next 2. Let's hope, man. Let's hope. Thank you all for joining. As my brother said, subscribe if you can. And comment your thoughts on where do we go from here and what are you expecting over the next 2 games at Villa Park. Cheers all. Up the Villa.